at an ancient city known as Caral along the Peruvian coast has shocked the archaeological world. The existence of pyramids indicates the presence of a civilization around 5,000 years ago, which would make it the oldest known civilization in the Americas. But that's not all. Not only is this civilization older than anything previously discovered, but it was also far more advanced than archaeologists ever thought possible at that remote period. The ancient city of Caral in the Supe Valley, a region of Peru's high desert in between the rainforests, mountains, and the Pacific coast, 120 miles north of Peru's capital city of Lima. The valley here is full of ancient monumental structures. Caral was first discovered in 1905, but was largely ignored by archaeologists because they believed its structures were of relatively recent date. The city was further explored by American history professor Paul Kosok in 1948, but not fully excavated, and it was not until the 1970s that archaeologists discovered that the large hills at Caral, thought by previous explorers and archaeologists to be natural hills, were actually ancient pyramids. Since the 1990s, studies and excavations at Caral have been undertaken by Peruvian archaeologist Ruth Shady Solis of San Marcos University. Fortunately for archaeologists, Caral is remarkably well preserved, mainly due to its early abandonment and late discovery. The vast urban complex of Caral takes up more than 150 acres and contains plazas, dwellings, pyramids, and a 92-foot-high temple. Shady's excavations at the site also uncovered a large sunken amphitheater, which could have held hundreds of people, probably during civic or religious events. Inside the amphitheater, archaeologists discovered 32 flutes made of pelican and condor bones, as well as 37 cornets of deer and llama bones. Clearly, music played an important role in their society, said Shady. During one season of excavation, Shady's team examined Pyramid Maya at 60 feet in height and covering an area nearly the size of 4 American football fields, the largest of the 6 pyramids at the site. Inside, they found a 30-foot wide staircase, circular walls covered with the remains of colored plaster and square brickwork. But what proved to be their most significant find was located in the foundations of the great structure. Here, they discovered the well-preserved remains of reed-woven bags known as shikras. Shady thought that the workers who built these ancient structures would have filled these bags with stones from a hillside quarry located a mile away and laid them on top of one another inside retaining walls, gradually building up the giant structure of the pyramid. But most significant of all was the fact that the reeds which made up the basket could be radiocarbon dated. The academic world was astonished at these results, which demonstrate that Caral dated back to 2627 BC, and so is 1,000 years older than the earliest known civilization in the Americas. Jonathan Haas, MacArthur Curator of Anthropology at the Field Museum, Chicago, said of the incredible findings, "The scale and sophistication of these sites is unheard of anywhere in the New World at this time. The cultural pattern that emerged in this small area in the 3rd millennium BC later established a foundation for 4,000 years of cultural fluorescence in other parts of the Andes." This date means that Caral was a thriving metropolis as Egypt's Great Pyramids and England's Stonehenge were being built. Ruth Shady Solis believes that Caral may be the answer to the long unanswered question about the mysterious origins of the Inca, the civilization that once stretched from modern-day Ecuador to central Chile and were responsible for building sites like Cusco and Machu Picchu. But one important question puzzles Shady. Why would people who live comfortably in small communities on the Pacific Ocean with easy access to plentiful marine food choose to move miles inland to a harsh desert environment? Evidence from Shady's excavations at Caral, including necklaces of snails and the seeds of the coca plant, neither of which was native to the area, convinced her that the site had served as an important trading center for the region. The wealth accumulated as a result of this trade caused the emergence of an elite of priests and planners, builders and architects. According to Shady, the class distinctions essential to an urban society thus emerged at Corral. The main non-edible product grown in the area seems to have been cotton, which was widely used in the manufacture of fishing nets, clothing, bags and ornaments. Indeed, cotton farming is believed to have been the main reason for the rise of inland settlements. But Corral was not an isolated site. Soon 20 other pyramid complexes, which seem to have been based on the mother city, emerged scattered across the 35 square mile area of the Soup Valley. Archaeologists believe that the Corral civilization, also known as Corral Soup, was part of the Norte Chico civilization complex, who lived in what is now the Norte Chico region of north-central coastal Peru. One unique aspect of the Norte Chico was its architecture. Their cities were important urban centers, terraced stone pyramids and large sunken circular plazas. Around 1800 BC, for reasons which have not been fully explained, the Norte Chico civilization collapsed and its cities were abandoned. The inhabitants just had time to protect some of their architectural structures by burying them before they left. Some experts suggest that climate change may have been a factor in the disappearance of the Norte Chico civilization, whilst others maintain that they didn't disappear at all. One theory is that the Norte Chico moved to other parts of Peru, taking their culture with them. One very likely scenario is that they took their irrigation further north and further south to areas that were more productive. It's interesting that in the Casma Valley, which is directly north, there are even bigger pyramids, and that was the next major cultural event. Recently, there has been much controversy over whether the North Chico Society at Corral and other sites actually constitutes a civilization. Many anthropologists and archaeologists have their own, often different definitions of the word, and the Norte Chico people do not qualify according to some of them. Professor Creamer commented, "Some people would say they were not a civilization. They had very few arts and crafts, for example. They were pre-ceramic. And if civilization needs urbanization, well, we don't know if these sites qualify as urban centers yet." Excavations are continuing in Peru's Soup Valley, and many important new discoveries are being reported. More ancient cities, pyramids and plazas have been found in an area which not so long ago was thought to be unlivable due to the harshness of the environment. After much more controversial results of recent research has been the new radiocarbon dates obtained from the ancient cities surrounding Corral. Shockingly, these dates suggest some of these cities may be even older than Corral. For some archaeologists, this is evidence that the true oldest city in the Americas has not yet been discovered.